I wanted a film that was dealing with a subject and had a plot, but more than anything was kind of a feeling of going back to a time and to a place where you discover, a lot of things about life, and going back to the feeling of that summer.
¿Vamos un rato al río? No puedo meterme en agua hasta mañana. Hace una hora que te estás regando. Te van a salir musgos entre las piernas. Prefiero que me salgan musgos antes que pelos. Te van a salir aunque no quieras. Eso va a hacerse mujer.
Kind of the central anecdote of the film, that is, the story of Mario, that is a case of a bit of a different kind of sexuality, if you want to call it.
Vamos a ir a la carrera, ¿no?
Claro. Es muy importante para Mario y para su familia. Es probarse como hombre.
¿Por qué tiene que probar? Por si no le gusta.
¿Esto no lo vio ningún médico?
El sanito.
It's something that when I was my main actor's age, around 11, my parents, who are doctors, my father is a psychiatrist and my mother is a gynecologist. My mother had a very similar case of a boy from the countryside. And for me it was, I overheard their conversations, and of course I was very, at that time, paying attention to anything that had to do with, the sexual awakening. And I think it was an interesting impact in me, because it kind of opened a lot of questions and doubts about, what it is to be a boy or a girl and how does that happen.
¿Y qué vas a hacer? ¿Te vas a quedar encerrada en la Boyita todo el verano?
No, me voy al campo con papá. ¿Cómo estás? Bien.
I think I decided to tell the story from her point of view, because for her, Mario's being different is not a tragedy, it's not a stigma, it's not, in fact, there's almost like a lightness. I mean, she even has like humor about it, that it's very difficult to have as an adult, And I think it would be good if we could be a bit more open and value a bit less being normal. Basically, I think what happened is, in my imagination, I put together the case that my mother was treating with the kids that I was playing with in the countryside, and kind of without even noticing, I mixed those stories. And then when I started looking for the places and the people, those were the people I was looking for. Mario lives there, and it's very much a country boy. Before making this movie, he's never been to a cinema. I think that was the biggest challenge of making this movie, how to tell him what was the movie about. I talked to the doctors that I was working with during the research, and I said, how do you explain to a 10, 12-year-old kid this case? What do you tell them when they ask you? And for me, that was a very important moment. This was crucial, because this doctor said, you don't explain, you just respond questions. If you're not asked, you don't talk. It was a very long and difficult process until I realized that not only he understood, but he was proud of making this movie, that he was proud to show it to his friends when it finally came out. And he all the time understood that he was performing, that it wasn't him. It's in our power too, also to accept that somebody is or different or not exactly normal or what we think they should be. I think that it's not up to science to determine, it's up to us, each of us.